Welcome everybody to another edition of King's Court with JJ. An all new episode dropping right now. We're going to be talking about sports, music, entertainment, you name it. A special guest or two may be popping in, so feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. We got another episode of King's Court with JJ, and I have a very special guest, my good friend GT is going to be joining the show today. What's up, GT?
What up? What up? What's going on? How you
How you
doing?
doing?
I'm good. I can't complain. I mean, I can complain a lot. I'm not gonna complain. So, you know,
Hey, man. You and I have been in the NBA world for a hot minute.
nah,
Um,
absolutely. It's
I
been
mean,
forever.
forever. WNBA, NBA, we've been in it.
Yeah.
And of course, we love our Spurs, we love our Rockets, we love our Dallas Mavericks, maybe. I don't know. We have our certain
Until
teams.
recently.
You're a globetrotter as well. You toured with the Globetrotters, so we'll count them in the basketball world. But let's just get into it.
Okay.
NBA All Star Weekend.
Yeah.
Let's let's just jump right in. I mean, there's so much to talk about it. So many different rules and regulations and things changed. And what was your overall view of it?
Um, it's so hard to like really break it down just because I feel like the the NBA has been trying to find a way to make it work, almost like the NFL, to
Mm-hmm.
where players make so much money now that it's like, why would I risk myself and my career and the rest of my season to come out here and put on a show for fans and all that other stuff when like it doesn't have any impact on the season? And like I said, I can get hurt, and
Mm-hmm.
if that happens, then that messes up my money and legacy and all the work we put in for half the season. So like, I mean, I get where a lot of it's coming from, for on the player's perspective, but it's kind of hard to make a product when people aren't passionate about the game. And like the last 3 years, it's just been like a joke. So they went out there and mixed it up a little bit and tried some things. And uh, overall, I feel like they're still gonna have to do some tweaking. I wasn't a huge fan of the All Star game. I think the idea was probably there. I know like there was some competition, in the first game just to make sure you didn't get beat out by the rookies, and then the second game, it was entertaining to a certain extent. Then you got to the last game, and then it was just like, all right, we're just kind of messing around.
Mm-hmm.
But when you really look at I posted a graphic on my page that kind of broke down the timing of the whole situation. And I think it was like 42 minutes of actual basketball and 3 hours of like an event. So it was a lot of talking, a lot of commercials, a lot of presentations, a lot of just a lot of dead time and not enough basketball, I think, for
Mm-hmm.
the game. Especially for it to be the whole weekend. You have the whole weekend for all that extra stuff. And I think at one point during the game, they started playing the championship game. They played 3 minutes. I think it was like 11-1. They called a timeout. They came back from the timeout. They did a 9-minute presentation for TNT, went to another commercial, came back from the commercial, and then started playing basketball. And that was like, 20-minute break in the middle of the game. It's like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Um, as like presentation standpoint, like I know for the people in the audience, like what are we watching? And I was DJing an event, so I'll play during the commercials and stuff like that, and it was just kind of like the people watching it just weren't engaged with
Enthused.
it like they used to be, and for
Mm-hmm.
us being our age and being around the NBA as long as we have, and I've performed at All-Star games before in the past, and it's such a live event, and people are so excited, and it's always been about basketball, and now it's just kind of about sideshow.
Yeah, and the game itself, I didn't like it. I mean, it needs to be more meaningful to me. I think it kind of needs to be like the baseball where if you win, you get home field advantage or at the start of the playoffs or something like that. I think that's kind of where it was. Um, I think you put the players more at risk because of those stoppage.
Yeah,
I saw Wemby. Everybody talked about, man, he was the first one out there warming up, blah blah blah. But then he has to sit a whole 45, almost an hour and a half.
hour and
He
15.
Yeah, he put that heat pad on. You could see him stretching in the back, and it was just like now you really do put the players at risk for getting injured because of those stoppage times. And you and I have come from the world of, the Don Castanis and the plumbers and everything, that our promotions are real quick so that the game keeps going.
Yeah,
So
it's not very efficient.
why wouldn't the NBA continue that? I get it, viewership, stuff like that, but you are putting the players at risk yourself.
Yeah, and like you said, from us being in game presentation, it's a different. We have a different viewpoint than people that are just want to be entertained, or or
Mhm,
even just hoopers or whatever it is. It's like I'm looking at it like game ops. Like, what's
mhm,
on the sheet? Like, bro, what are we
mhm,
doing? It's like, all right, roll out the carpet. We're gonna have people talking now. Just kind of sitting around. Players are getting cold and that, this, that, and the other. I feel like at this point, if they're not going to take the game serious, which they're contractually obligated to play in the game, which is crazy because like they have to play. And for them to just kind of go out there and just not care about it is wild. For when they had the old format, I think really the only way to do that is to put Team USA out there versus the world.
mhm,
Because
mhm.
those other players will play for their country,
Yep.
like Luca, freaking Joker, like those dudes, like even Embiid, deciding on whichever country he wants to play for. He's got like 15 options he could do, but
Mhm,
like they'll go out there and they'll put their country on their back and they'll try to beat the US just to prove a point, or even if we had FIBA come out there and actually play like an actual game against them just to you'll see the All Stars play together. It's really just like a Team USA game, which the world tuned in to watch.
mhm. Heck yeah.
They're all NBA players, so I mean, what are we doing? We might as well just do that.
Mhm,
Uh, it's got to do something, or it's gonna end up getting worse, and viewership is just like it's like watching like the NFL thing. Like nobody even wants to watch that. You're watching guys spike the ball for points. Like that's what we're doing now. It was crazy.
you know, I was thinking, okay, maybe because it was the last time that, you know, TNT's hosting it. Okay, I get that part, but they've done such a good job over the years of really putting on a great broadcast all weekend for NBA All-Star weekend, but this new format just does not sit with me. I don't like it. I don't like the four-quarter things. I don't like the non-defensive, not meaningful, type thing. And if you're gonna vote in the NBA All Stars like previous years, like make sure we're voting because they're actually an All Star. Luca didn't get to play because he didn't get to play. He hasn't played so many games.
Yeah.
So what's the difference if you're an NBA All Star or a rookie? Because some of those rookies barely got minutes compared to Luca's minutes. So I just that aspect, I don't understand it. You know, you
Like if you watch First Take, and I generally like to watch First Take, especially after big events, and just kind of get like a good professional breakdown of the things that I would have missed, or like even the comments and the chatter that happens around the actual players, that we wouldn't be privy to. And like Kendrick said, they brought in they put forth a better effort.
mhm,
It's just the product wasn't great. You know what I mean? Like they tried some part to work, they still need to work on it. But even what Draymond said, it's like you have these rookies that are on the championship floor that don't deserve to be on the championship floor, that the players put all that work in, like you said, like people voted on and they're there. And then you
Mm-hmm.
got people that are sharing the floor that, I mean, they work hard, but they're not who we want to see. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of players there I never even heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, like Trey didn't even get invited originally, um, and Ball, and they should have been there. It's like when you really think about it, it's like it could have been a better overall thing. If you want to include people politically just for the viewership, then you should have included the people that people actually wanted to see, and not kind of force other people in there.
Did you let's start from the beginning, but did you like the Celebrity All-Star game? Has it been one that you watched, or
Celebrity
is it
game.
the Celebrity All-Star game?
Uh, I watched a little bit of it. I think we used to perform at the celebrity
Mhm.
game, at least last time I was there. And
Mhm.
I mean, I had an opportunity to go this year, or would have had an opportunity at least to compete to go, but then I got hurt, so I kind of missed out on the whole thing going because my Rockets team was there. So shout out to the Rockets because they went out there and showed out and performed. And I wish I would have had the chance to go. And instead, I blew out my hamstring. So anyway, long story short, uh,
But
the
let's
celebrity.
talk about that. What you actually do for the Rockets, cuz used to be the high flying guy here in San Antonio as well. So,
Yeah, I'm still
for
I'm still
some
dunking.
people don't know.
I'm still dunking 20. This is gonna be my 21st year. It's like the end of my 20th year, but technically 21 years of jumping on trampolines and slam dunking basketball. So I joined the Rockets team because the Spurs don't have an official team,
Mhm.
and a lot of my teammates I've been dunking with for years were the Rockets. So I went out there and auditioned and joined up with them, and like I love it out there, man. The culture, like the Houston Rockets culture, basketball culture is
Mhm.
so exciting. Like the entertainment, just the energy in the building, like it's so much different. And I was with the Spurs for 2 seasons I was there, and then the Silver Stars was there for three. And I love San Antonio, and we got the ring and all that other stuff, and it was exciting. Um, but it feels different in the Rockets organization for me personally. And I haven't been at the Spurs for a long time, but I know like the energy is just a different feel.
Yeah, I mean, you are one of the coolest guys, high flying, during timeouts with the mascots and stuff. So I can only imagine what you're doing in Houston with Clutch and everybody over there. And then of course you DJ, so you're in the mix of all that. It's an entertainment. We got to put on a show. Yeah, I get that part. The NBA All Star celebrity game, I guess because I didn't know as many stars as before. Like they
Yeah, there are
usually
a lot
bring
of
out,
YouTube stars and streamers.
yeah, like I'm waiting for, like the Common, or some real actors to be part of this celebrity game.
Yeah, they
You know?
weren't they weren't married. I know like T.O.'s was there and he's been there forever. Uh Drewski, Kai Cenat. There's a couple of streamers I never heard of. There's a player, I guess from Philippines, I think.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, there was a lot of people. I was like, I don't know who any of these people are. And I know back when we did it, like I was there, it was Terry Crews. I think Common was there. They had Globetrotters
Mhm.
that were out there. There was a bunch of different actors that were coming in, and it was like a star-studded event. Like the hottest movie actor at the time was in the game, and uh,
Mhm.
now I think they really went towards trying to get the youth only, um, and they really focused, like drill down on like the real newcomers, like Twitch people. A lot of people our age, our generation, don't really do that sort of thing. So
Yeah. Um, Turbo. Who's Turbo? You know Turbo?
yeah, it still work. Well,
No?
Jerry was Turbo for the Houston Rockets,
Okay.
and he's the one who, after I left the Spurs, I joined Acrodunk, and he owns Acrodunk. So that team that Jerry owns is the team that I've been a part of since 2007.
Nice.
So
Nice.
all the guys that I work with, we all learned under Jerry and came from there. I still work. Like I still do shows with Acrodunk. I have my own company also, but um, I never turned down an Acrodunk show because that's like my my bread and butter. Like that's family.
Yeah. Weren't you guys on like America's Got Talent or something?
Yeah, we were on America's Got Talent. My first time on America's Got Talent, 2009, season 4, and we got 11th place. And then we went back in 2015 and still made the top 50. Yeah, Jerry is
Nice.
great. Yeah, I've been, like I said, I've been with Acro Dunks almost 19 years, and probably like the best decision I ever made in life. Like I probably wouldn't have done a lot of things in my life without being with Jerry and just those guys. Like those are my best friends, and I got to travel the world. And, one thing led to another, and it all came from
Hmm.
Aqueduct.
Yeah. So, dunking, that's your specialty.
Yep.
What did you think of the NBA dunk contest?
um, I think Mac is single handedly saving the dunk contest. And the worst part is like he's not even in the NBA. Like he's had more dunk competitions than I think almost the same amount of
Appearances.
games he's had in the NBA. Which I mean, I'm not hating. I think he's great, and he's been doing this since he's an actual dunker. Like he put time and effort into his dunking. He wasn't an NBA player that was like, all right, let me try and fit some dunks into my NBA schedule. So I think if and let me back up a little bit from what I read, John Moran and he was got a little excited and wanted to recruit some people to kind of come out and do the dunk contest. And the Spurs showed out. Like it
They
was an
did.
actual he actually had some competition this time where someone did a
They
dunk that
did.
was creative for the first
Hmm.
time in 3 years where we didn't have someone go out there and just kind of just dunk the basketball. Like it really looked it was a good competition. I appreciate it. I'd like for the stars to come out and I hope that this pushes them to want to come out next year and bring it back to what it used to be. And, as a dunker, like, I've seen a lot of stuff. And then you have the people like Chris Staples, which, he used to be on the Globetrotters with me. And I always reach out to him because he's doing what I'd like to be doing. And he's, everybody hates Chris. If you don't know who he is, everybody hates Chris on Instagram. He's does all the dunking. He's at the NBA All Stars. He's one of my favorite dunkers, YouTube dunkers by far. Um, if they're gonna go that Mac route and they really want to entertain people with dunks, then they should just do what Stephen A. says and put let the NBA players sponsor a YouTube dunker and let them come out and put on a show because they have some dunks that we will never see in the NBA dunk contest.
Hmm.
And unless they get that star power and people actually really putting in that effort to do like a Vince Carter type show or like the Aaron Gordon show,
Hmm.
it's not going to be the same. I would personally,
Even the Blake Griffin.
yeah, I mean, those shows were like, those are the best. And it's been years,
Yeah.
like, for since Aaron Gordon and then went out there and Zach went out there and put on that show. It's really been years since we've had a really great show where you're like, that's it. Um, so, I mean, if they're going to go one route, then they really just need to incorporate the the YouTube dunkers. And I always say, like, even if they did like a combination, like an NBA player teams up with somebody, and then they do like a best three dunks, and they do a combined score, that'd be great. They're still included. Obviously, they're not dunking professionals, but they will put on a show, give us what we want to see, and then we'll still get they make the show even better, in
You,
my opinion.
you're saying if an NBA player sponsors a actual dunker
I'm saying if they teamed up, if it was
teamed
like a
up.
two
Okay.
person team and like they did, one each,
Okay.
or the YouTube dunker does two and then they do one, or they do one each and then a alley oop type situation, and then they put money on the line. Then it makes it
Okay.
even more, competitive and it's still exciting for people because people want to see those dunkers and those content creators go out there and they actually they practice on the courts and do all the dunk stuff before everybody comes in, so they're ready to go. And
Hmm.
I think a lot of them really deserve some of that shine anyway.
I that's where I was so upset and really pissed off is this guy comes in first season, hadn't even played in the NBA and was in the dunk competition. So it kind of like was like, where did you come from? Because to me, I want to see the NBA actual dunkers. I want to see dunks from NBA players that play in today's game. And the first season he was there, I was like, who is this guy? Like, whose team does he play on? Because I hadn't seen him.
Yeah.
And then the second year, oh, okay, he's back, but he played a little bit with Orlando. This season, he's played 5 minutes with the Orlando Magic, and he's in the NBA dunk contest. Now, I know there's other people in the NBA that could have dunked. They could have been invited. I would have liked to see Wimby, do his Michael Jordan impersonation or something like that. And I just think, that void is there, that it's not a valid, to me, it's not a valid NBA player. So I don't like the whole Matt McMullen thing. I don't like it. But
I think
I mean,
like
yes, he has saved the dunk competition. I will agree with you on that.
it's it's almost like a catch-22 from production wise and just as a product. Like if they don't bring someone like that in, and what do we have? We had a whole bunch of misses. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And one
true,
dunker came through and
true.
did a dunk that wouldn't have beat him. So your product that you're putting out there is it's not exciting. And until you get some people, like I said, that do that Aaron Gordon type show, it's nobody's gonna tune in, and it's gonna slowly die off. And really, you have to do something to at least either motivate people to do better or keep people hooked in, or there's not going to be a show anymore.
Mhm.
So, like I said, I understand it from a production standpoint. I don't want to knock it just because you got to do something. And if they would have went out there and the four dunkers would have missed all their dunks and did some basic dunks, then people would have been upset that the show was terrible. So
True.
if your only argument is, oh well, the guy that keeps killing it is doing some great dunks, but he barely plays in the NBA, I feel like um, that's a solid complaint to have in the grand scheme of things. Other than that was the worst show ever. I don't ever want to watch it again.
True. I just I feel like Stefan Castle got robbed because he's literally the legit NBA player, but you're right. I mean, you're missing dunks and didn't even care about the time, and the dunk coach, it seemed like everybody uses, which is
Yeah,
cool.
which is crazy because there's every dunk content creator is there. So I don't understand why they don't utilize
Different.
those guys. These
Mhm.
guys that won Dunk Kings and all those shows that are on YouTube that they have the dunkers showing out. There's all those people there that have a plethora of dunks that they could share with these NBA players and show them the best way to get it done. And they're using some random guy to do this, that, and there. That's probably like NBA sponsored. So it's like there's a lot of options that they could have utilized to make it better, but at the same time, the guys in the middle of the season, they come down. You got 2 days to prepare for it. You know, it you get what you get.
Mhm.
And Mac, he had weeks to prepare, and he plays in the G League, so it's not like his schedule is anything crazy. So
Or the
it is what it
risk
is,
of
and it was
getting hurt.
entertaining. So I mean, like I said, you got that. This was the one year where someone gave him some competition, and hopefully that makes NBA players say, "Man, we need to get back into this." And if they do that, then it paid off. And at the same time, he even said, "I might not come back next year." So they need to come up with something pronto.
Let's talk about the 3-point contest. Do you think it's still entertaining with the starry ball and the extra
I mean,
money
this contest
balls
would
and
be entertaining, but I mean, who did they have shooting? I mean, like some people
Kate
had 9 points.
Cunningham.
You know what I mean? Like you went out there with 9 points and you're in the contest. Like, what are we doing? You
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean, I understand. I get why Steph wouldn't do it anymore. Like, all right, you've been killing it. You know, and as for as many threes as the NBA takes, you would think you would have guys out there scoring 40, 50 points on the 3 point contest. You know, if anything, we should have had 15 Celtics players out there shooting the 3 point contest with the way that they jack up
Mm-hmm.
threes every game. I mean, they're on the pace for a record in 3 pointers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so who do we have out here shooting threes if it's not someone out there with a high percentage, you know? And
Yeah,
then
I mean
Tyler
the
Hero went out there and won it, and he came in the first round with 19 points.
yeah, I mean that's what you should do. You should take your top 8 three-pointers shooters and then let them duke it out regardless
You
if
just don't
they're
want to be bothered anymore. Like it's that's what it feels like to me. It's like,
that's their vacation time
or like,
mid-season.
like I just want to go chill, or I don't want to be embarrassed, or this, that, and the other. Because I mean, it's a lot of pressure. If like the dunk contest, like if you're not, you might be able to dunk, but if you aren't creative, it's different. It's like someone coming out there and saying, "Hey, sing this song in front of 18,000 people," but you don't sing well. You maybe have done karaoke, but it's like, all right, now you're asking me to do something I don't normally do. You
Mhm.
know, or even like 3 point contests, it's like, if I don't make it, I'm about to get clowned, you know?
Mhm.
So, like I said, I get it. But as a performer myself, I'm like, bro, I'd be a part of everything. But then again, I'm not an NBA player, so I can't really speak from,
Sure.
you haven't been home really to enjoy yourself. You finally get 3 days off or a
Mhm.
week off, not even a whole week, because I mean, they had games on Thursday night.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Wednesday. So it's like, yo, I gotta hop on a plane and then I gotta go get prepared and do all this, be here at a certain time and spend 2 hours doing this, and I gotta do extra work when it's like, then I still got a game to play after that. I mean, there's a lot.
Mhm.
There's a lot involved. Hold on, I gotta grab my charger real quick because I'm at
Yeah,
4%.
no worries. I think one of the things that I kind of did not like from the whole three-point shootout was the fact that you have these different options, the 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, and you're just kind of waiting to see, like, you know where the money rack is, where this. I miss Larry Bird. I miss watching the greats like that just go for it and shoot the lights out. They played a lot of those clips to give people kind of an old time feel since TNT's leaving, gonna be gone. So to be able to see that and kind of reminisce on those kind of players, Larry Bird and all the oldies, shooting baskets and doing stuff like that when they were back in the day. Um, TNT's has taken over I think, the NBA All Star Weekend for like 42 years, and then now TNT's gonna be gone, but seeing all those clips of the previous Muggsy Bogues and all them, Spud Webb, Dominique in the slam dunk, those are great memories of NBA players. Brett Barry winning the slam dunk in '96. Um, so I did miss that. I missed, seeing actual competition in the three. We did have somebody score 31 points. 31 points in the 3-point shootout,
Yeah,
but
baby.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, look, I mean, you also got to keep in mind, like, we're now the old timers, like to an extent. So we're the people like when our generation was, watching, really Jordan and things like that. We're the people that were talking about how great Magic Johnson and Bird were. You know what I mean? Like
mhm,
things are just different. Times are changing, and the product has to evolve. And it's gonna be. I mean, it's hard to keep up, and like the people that were around for all that time, they're not watching like they used to. So we
Correct.
have a whole generation of these kids that have short attention span that would rather watch the clips on TikTok than actually sit down and watch a game. So
True.
so
Valid point.
where are you getting how do you get people to sit down and watch 3 days of events? And it's almost to a point where they just might as well just do it in one day because you're stretching out. They stretched out a 45-minute game for 3 hours. And then they had the Rising Stars game. They had a day of practice that was televised. They had, you know what I mean? Like they're really trying to make these events that aren't necessarily engaging. Um, they're trying to stretch them out for a long period of time. And back in our day, there wasn't access to stuff, so you had to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you didn't watch it when it came out, you weren't gonna see it.
Mm-hmm. True.
So we used to have to be there in front of the TV for the whole All Star. Like we planned around the All Star game. I was like, I didn't watch the All Star game, but I'll check the highlights out,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll watch it on YouTube, or I'll watch it on somebody's Instagram post. So it's just not it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, people
Okay.
don't tune in for things like that anymore.
Yeah. You're right.
I
You're
mean,
right.
even like the Super Bowl, it's like you can watch the Super Bowl, or it's like I'll just watch the performance afterwards. I'll just watch
Mm-hmm.
it after. It's
Or
not,
tune in just for halftime and then check
yeah, like
check
you
the
just
quarter.
like, we had to sit and watch it. And then even back then, we didn't watch the Super Bowl halftime show. You would change the station and watch MTV while they did their concert or whatever, and then switch back to the game because you had to. Like you can do both.
Mm-hmm.
Like things are just different, and I guess it's just been a hard time navigating because everything is old. TNT is fulfilled a bunch of old guys. They're great, but I mean, it's full of old guys. NBA is run by old guys. The player association, everybody's old. It's just there's just a it's hard to relate to these kids these days.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be hard for the people trying to make it up because it's like, where's everybody paying attention? These kids are watching YouTube streamers. These kids are watching content creators, and they have millions of views. They're the ones going viral. So it makes sense to say, hey, let's get these guys in, and then they will help promote for us, as opposed to getting older people in there, which our generation would watch live on TV, but nobody's gonna go back and rewatch because they don't have that kind of clout. So like,
Mm-hmm.
where do you draw the line?
That's true. You got me there because I really didn't think about it that way. I really didn't, to be honest. Um, you know, I just I guess I'm biased. Like you said, we're a little older generation, so our view on it is different. But let's jump into the most controversial one there is, the skills challenge. Do
I've
you
been saying
think
it for years. And it's funny because I was at Twin Peaks, and right before they went, I said, I don't understand why they just don't throw the ball 3 times, get it out of there, and keep it moving. Because
yeah.
you don't have to make it. I
Uh-huh.
think the idea was there, but the execution was trash. Because me, I would just shoot 3 shots. Boom, boom, boom. But the third shot would be out of my hands before the first one even hit the rim.
True.
Because it's a legit shot, but there's no, like, they'll shoot, wait to see if they made it, grab another one, shoot, wait to see if they made it, then grab a third one. If you miss all 3, you take off anyway.
Mhm.
So efficiently, it's not very efficient. Like if you're
Mhm.
just saying like, but they just threw the ball off the rack, and that was like the worst idea ever.
Well, if you look back at the video, because I look back at the video, I look back at the rules, because I was like livid that they were disqualified. Hello, bias, San
Definitely,
Antonio.
yeah, for sure.
But Wimby's shots, regardless if he tried or not, they actually all hit the rim.
Okay.
The only one that didn't was Chris Paul's.
Yeah, Chris Paul just pushed it off the rack.
So if he would have maybe just hit the rim, or I don't know, maybe come a little closer to the net. I don't know.
The problem for
Yeah.
me is, although I'm glad someone finally did it, and I'm also glad that I said it out loud before it happened, because there was like, "How did you know?" And I was like, "I'm a genius." But I feel like it was one. I would have went last.
Okay.
I would have went last if it was me. I would have went last because, like, if you do it first, then and you get away with it, then everything before that, I mean, everything before that, like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But going first, if they let you get away with it, then there's no reason for everyone else to do it correctly. So you
Correct.
almost have like a situation where you have to punish the first people, or you've completely ruined the game forever. And the problem is, now that they've done what they've done, the game is going to be ruined forever, because my idea of just shooting them things real quick and not trying to make it
Mm-hmm.
is is going to be within the rules.
True.
But
True.
like now, if nobody's trying to make it, then nobody's going to really care about the actual skills. The only ones that have to be made are putting the ball through the hoop or through the circle, the bounce pass.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, like when you go outside of that, then in the layup, outside of that, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, because if you really think about it, they probably still would have won had they just hit the rim, because a lot of those NBA players that went after them missed that first pass multiple times.
Absolutely. I mean, there was a lot of things they could have done. I mean, like I said, shoot 3 shots, grab, shoot, grab, shoot, grab, shoot, take off,
Mm-hmm.
and then it doesn't matter. But like I said, after them doing that, it's going to be ruined forever. Because you have to almost make a stipulation that you have to make a shot.
And then it kills more time or
Yeah, but
takes
if you don't
longer.
do that, then because like I said, if you don't have to make it, then why even care if you made it?
And I try to remember if they actually shot the last time they did this kind of skill challenge. And I don't remember them having to shoot a 3 or having to shoot a free throw. It's always been a layup.
Nah, they shoot because they especially when they put the little windmill thing in there.
Oh, okay.
They had
I
the little
want
windmill.
to
They
see.
shoot a windmill the 3 point.
I think maybe just keep that. Do one a layup and then the other one a dunk, and
Yeah.
then it still kind of speeds it up. But the whole shooting the 3 and then shooting the free throws, to me, I don't know.
I thought I had an idea. It's like, well, you gotta maybe if you put it where if you make one, you shoot your 3, and each one you make, you lose 5 seconds.
Ah,
So that way, there's an
okay.
incentive on making it. Then if you make all 3, then that gives you an advantage. So like if you're already, let's say that you got to beat a time and you'll never beat it,
Mm-hmm.
then that gives you an opportunity to get back in the game.
Yeah.
So that way,
That's
the shooting is just as important as everything else.
uh-huh. That is a valid
I have great ideas.
point.
Nobody be fucking
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, I think you should pitch them when you're there
Yeah,
next.
nobody. Yeah, okay, dunker. Nobody cares about what I'm saying. Go dunk the basketball. I'm out until April anyway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I tore my hamstring, like tore it.
Dang.
Yeah, so I got like 2 more months of I start PT tomorrow morning.
Wow. Are you back in town, or are you?
Yeah, I live here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
live in San Antonio. I really just took the time to commute back and forth just because
The love of the game.
it was gonna be like I said, it was gonna be my last year. My plan was to dunk for this last season. Hopefully get an invite to All Stars. This is even before they picked our team. Like my intention was to just work hard, help my team get an invite, hopefully get selected, um, go to All Stars, and just have like hopefully, the Rockets go to the playoffs and we win a championship. All the things line up that it made like a really great
Mhm.
final run. And I was really hoping that this was going to be it. And then, I went so hard to begin with, Um, I ended up getting one injury. I hurt my knee. I tore my meniscus, fractured. I had a plateau fracture, tore my ACL and PCL all at the same time, and then was still jumping, just kind of like going through the pain, but I was babying it. So I was using my other leg. So I was basically like falling out the sky, but landing on my right leg, just one legged, because I was in so much pain. And then I ended up blowing out my hamstring. Um, but then even then, I was still jumping, and this was in like November. I kept
Hmm.
jumping, kept. I took like 2 weeks, and I come back and then keep jumping, keep jumping. I was in so much pain. Like I was really just uh, trying to get by because I didn't want like the opportunity to go to the All Stars to come up, and then they're
Not
like,
be
"Well,
ready.
yeah, you can't go because you've been hurt," which is exactly what happened. But then I kept jumping and trying to go even harder just in case an opportunity came up that I would get a chance to go. And then running to the trampoline, it snapped, and then I freaking went to the ground. And it was the worst pain. I felt like I got shot.
Was it during the actual dunk
It was
show or was it at a
during a dunk show.
practice?
It was during a dunk show we were doing at an elementary school for
Oh,
the Rock.
wow.
So I was running the trampoline, and then it popped, and like right before I hit the trampoline, and it was bad. Like I couldn't walk. I started to drive home from Houston. It was the worst case scenario.
Dang.
So and then I had to go get an MRI, and then I thought like, okay, well, my season's over. I might have to have surgery. I might not even be able to walk right anymore. I might not be able to dunk ever again. Like all that stuff
Mhm.
is kind of going on. And they called me in. They told me I was like half an inch from requiring surgery. So really, it's just a rehab and sit out. But I have so much FOMO. They're like, where'd my camera go? Oh, so
Uh,
look.
yeah.
Yeah, so I have so much FOMO. So the problem is like I don't like missing anything,
Okay.
and it drives me crazy. So I will put all the work in that I can to get to really to be able to be available um, for any situation, whether it hurts me or not. So that's kind of where I've been at.
Dang, Greg. You know, I enjoy seeing you entertain with that dunk things that you guys do back, when you were here in the Silver Star squad. You guys did those, and then of course the Spurs, um you and all those Star Squad and everybody, your Aqua Dunk crew, or even when you were part of Slam Man's little dunk, even with Coyote,
Yeah,
some of the stuff you guys did. I mean, props to you, man. I would never ever be able to do that. Um, the show you put on, and I can only imagine what you're doing in Houston. Um, my cousins live in Houston. They're avid Rockets fans. One of my cousins used to work for the Comets and the Rockets, so I know the entertainment that they really thrive for and look for, and I can only imagine you bringing some great entertainment out to those games as well as those school appearances, because we all know those school appearances are just as important as any game that we perform at. So,
school appearances for me are my favorite part of doing shows now.
mhm,
When I
mhm.
lived in Houston for Aqueduct, we used to do like 300 a year, 200 a year. So like,
Oh, wow.
and then we used to do them all over the country. I used to do about 15 shows a week. Um, and now I own my own company here. So in San Antonio, we do shows. Like we've done shows in Northside, ISD, and I'm trying to get more bookings here because I really want to bring the message here and put on the entertainment for the kids locally and kind of have my own stamp on what we do here because I
Mhm,
really care about that. And like I said, it's the most fun for me, the most rewarding. And I love like doing the NBA entertainment and that also. But I mean, it means a lot to me to be able to connect with the kids and
mhm.
like I'll do shows in different states and go back.
Mhm.
and kids will remember me from when they were in elementary school or middle school and be like, man, you came to my school and you told this one joke. And it's like that's the stuff that really hits my heart. Like the NBA stuff is great.
Absolutely.
As an entertainer, like, man, it's people are screaming, you really get to get people excited and stuff like that. And that's great. But the most rewarding is the little stuff and the little kids that just want to take your autograph, or
Mhm.
you know take a card with your picture on it and hang it up. And that means a lot. Even like for WNBA, like I loved being with the Silver Stars. And one person that she ran into me DJing at Bombshells, and she had a picture of me and her when she was like in elementary school at a Silver Star game, with like me signing her shirt or something like that, and like really pulled it off Facebook and showed me from man, that was 2005,
Uh-huh.
2006. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about that moment, and that is something that I will always remember, being the Coyote assistant for appearances. You're absolutely right. I'm gonna give a big shout out to Martin Sharp, um,
That's
who would
great.
allow me to be his host, and we put on a show. Um, and though Tim too. I don't know if you remember, not
Oh
Tim.
god, Tim, talking about
David,
oh,
all David. Um, we put on an actual show, and I had to MC a lot of those events with him, and that is something that's always stuck out with me. The star testing, where we did these shows, and I wish, I wish I could get with Martin and see if he still has those videos, because you're right. Like, these young little elementary kids remember remember those. I remember back in the day, a Nacho Estrada guy who would come with his little puppet guy. I
yeah,
remember that.
Nacho with the puppets.
Yeah, you know, and that's what we were, you know, because you're right. I've gone, after doing some of those, I've been somewhere and somebody's like, "Hey, you were at my school with a coyote," or something like that. And those are the moments you remember for the rest of your life, being part of something special like that. So I can only imagine your aqua dunk and your own dunking and dunking around the world. You're been on YouTube, you've traveled with the Globetrotters, you've done this. I know that there's multiple people out there that have seen you, that will have those moments, and that's a pretty cool thing, because it's something, that's a once in a lifetime thing, and that's something you get to treasure as a performer.
Yeah, so I've been doing it a long time. So after a while, the basic excitement for just performing kind of goes away. So you start to look for the little things that really add the joy. And I know
Mhm.
for a while, I was getting very complacent, especially being on tour. Because I was the Globetrotters for 10 years, and I was like, well, this just can't be the rest of my life, you know.
Mhm.
And at one point, I started, wearing my CGMs and things like that, my insulin pump for my diabetes. And I always had like a complex about it, where I didn't like to feel handicapped, like having
Okay.
them out in front of people. And I was an MC for the Globetrotters, so I'd be on the court, and everyone be staring at me. I didn't like people seeing it.
Mhm.
And then I started wearing it and being proud about it. And then kids used to come find me after the game and show me their, CGMs, and show me their insulin pumps, and want to take pictures. And, that kind of turned into the thing where I was doing on Instagram and taking pictures with these kids and reposting them. And, it's like they're all over the world. They were catching me in
Wow.
France and Germany and UK. Like it was just like a thing where even they we didn't speak the same language, but they would come out and they would point at their arm and hey, let's take a picture and this, that, and the other. And it was great. Like that really gave me uh, a lot of pride and just to be, because I know how it could feel to feel handicapped and have that. And these
Mhm.
kids are out here and they don't really have a choice. And for the longest time, I chose just not to and just rather be sick than kind of like take care of myself. So it was great to just have that moment to really. I wasn't doing much, but I was giving back to a point where it brought smile on someone's face that really wouldn't have felt that connection to somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that is man. That's a whole new. That's a whole new story in itself, GT. Because that's awesome. I mean, I never would have thought of it like that either. To take something out of what you love to do and make it something else special in a different kind of moment. That's a pretty cool thing to be able to relate to youngsters like that. And man, that's pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, it meant a lot to me, and it still does. So, but I really haven't had as much of an opportunity to do that like I did with the Globetrotters, obviously, because we were doing so many shows and in front of so many people, and um, like I said, it's not the same type of vibe. And we used to have the autograph session where all the thousands of people would be hanging out afterwards. So it's a different situation, but I'm glad that at least I had that moment in time, and I like to find a way. Like I said, with my dunk team, I like to find a way to kind of hopefully get back to the point where I'm making impacts on kids' lives.
So your dunk team, is there a way that people can check it out and look at some of your footage and stuff?
Yeah, we're called the Dunk All Stars. So on Instagram, we're Dunk All Stars. Website, dunkallstars.com or www.dunk.show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I I haven't really been doing the marketing a lot of it. So I'm kind of just really restarting the push. So I had to redesign the website and all that other jazz because obviously the injuries and I was doing with a lot of things the last couple of years medically where I didn't really get to focus on pushing my brand. And then I got hurt again. I was like, you know what, now is the time to really like buckle down and use my downtime to do the marketing and do the websites and do the mailers and the Instagram and the TikToks and the videos and promos and stuff like that. So um, yeah, following the socials definitely is big. We'll start posting more videos and filming more when I get back healthy. We're performing at Final Four in the at the conference
There you go.
center, convention center.
Hey.
Sorry. So
Yeah.
yeah, so my team we're getting back in it.
Oh, so you guys are gonna be out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Yeah, I'll hook you up with some passes when we come through, and you can come
Nice. Yeah,
see what you
that'll
want.
be pretty cool.
Yeah, so we got that booking. I think it's April 7th. I think between
Hmm.
like 5 and 7 p.m. So my guys are coming down from Houston, and I don't know how active I'm gonna be because technically I'm not. I probably shouldn't be jumping until like the end of April, early May. But chances are, knowing me, I'll probably be
You'll push through.
yeah, I'll probably be getting it in. So my plan is to hopefully be back by playoffs for the Rockets because I know we're gonna have a nice run this year because our coach
Well,
our coach deserves a championship ring.
he sure does.
I like him, man.
He
I like
sure
him.
does.
I like
Yeah.
him, and I hope all the success for him. And I'm glad that he went to Houston and turned
Yep.
that team of young players into the team that they are. So I hope it
You
ends up.
know, now that you say you're in Houston, you need to do some stuff at U of H.
Yeah, well, some of my guys are doing a performance there on the 22nd, actually this Saturday. So
Oh, nice. Ty
yeah.
Dillard, of course, is the assistant coach who played with the Silver Stars. She's assistant women's basketball coach.
Oh man, I
So
remember.
yeah,
You still friends with them? I know you used to be
I
friends.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. So that'd be a cool thing to do some dunking there too.
I was supposed to dunk at UTA Saturday, and that's where I originally went to college.
Oh,
So I
okay.
was really looking forward to it before the whole blowout. So oh, now I'm like missing out. I got FOMO, man. I don't like missing anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be
But
a
I
show with 3 people, and I'd be like, let me jump.
I would love to see you guys, in the schools. Um, I know there's a lot of inner city youth out here towards, the south of town that would love this kind of entertainment, even around, with all the stress of schools things going on right now. Um, I think it would be a great thing for you guys to do, and to bring that little entertainment back, as far as, giving kids something eye opening to see different.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a different show, and I always love doing it because our message is very impactful, and our entertainment is so different and exciting that the kids have to pay attention. And like, you could bring people in to talk about staying off drugs or paying attention to your teachers or do testing, but you'll a lot of other people lose the audience, and we're really great at captivating the students and bringing the message home in a way that they'll never forget. It's not just even the message, it's just the extra stuff that we put into it. And we've been doing this, like I've been doing this for 20 years, 20 plus years. The
mhm.
guy that I team up with a lot from Acro Dunk, and he's got his own company also. And what in the world is that? And I I got mine also. Um, we'll still come together and work with each other's companies and teams, and because we've been friends for so long that that he's been doing 25 years, maybe even longer. And he's great at doing the message part, and like we really take a lot of pride in it.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people just perform, but I actually love it.
Mhm.
Like I love school shows, I love the kids, I love being funny, I love being, someone that they want to open up to, or get a high five. Like I'll stay there and high five every kid in the gym before they leave. Like, it's really important to me to kind of to make sure that everybody feels special.
Mhm.
And I really kind of want to keep that going on as long as I can.
20 Did you say 25 years?
Oh yeah,
20
he's been outside longer than me. Yeah, he's older than me too, and he's way better. Like he's always on point.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think back, I'm like, "Oh my god, like we opened the AT&T Center in 2002
yeah.
and the Silver Stars joined like right after that." So it's like, how long have you know we've been in this mix of the NBA, WNBA, and then to be doing something special like that, all these years is pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah, I actually left. I mean, I left college to do that. You know what I mean? Like I left college because I was sick. Like me and my diabetes were not going great. And I was going
Mhm.
through a lot, and I was at school and I was at UTA. And I had like such a terrible semester medically that I was like, I need to do something different. And I joined the WNBA, and it was really like my motivation to get into shape and to really just be physical, um, to be healthy. And that's
Mhm.
kind of where it started. And I just wanted to dance. And then I was like, oh crap, this dunking thing is crazy. And then I fell in love with dunking, and I really haven't stopped. And that was 2004.
Wow. So over 20 years. Nice. That is freaking
That's
nice.
what keeps me going at this point. 'Cause you know what I
Heck
mean? Like
yeah.
when you're 40, like what do you do? Like till you wake up and you're like, what am I gonna do? Cut my grass? Like is that what's exciting? Like I
Yeah,
don't know.
you're gonna go dunk basketballs for a living.
It's really the only thing that makes me think like, all right, I gotta either stay in shape or, I
Mhm.
gotta make sure that I'm on point, or, like really keeps me in touch with just being physical, the youth and that. I still DJ, things like that. Like I really have
Mhm.
to kind of like be involved with society.
Yep.
And I'm very antisocial, believe it or not. I'm a. I know it sounds crazy.
That does sound crazy to me.
I would spend all my time inside my house if I could. And if I'm not performing or really like the center of attention, I don't want to have any part of anything else.
I was gonna say you're one of the best DJs I know. And hopefully we get to team up again for the parade. I'm hoping.
Parade was fun.
The parade was fun. Um, I'm hoping we get to team up for that. What up, Jacob? Thanks for tuning in. The parade was amazing to have you DJ and be part of that float. I know a lot of people didn't stop talking about it. The music was great. You guys were so entertaining. And I don't know if you know this, but we did win first prize.
I had no idea.
So we won first prize for the most entertaining float in the night parade. So props to you with that good music.
I appreciate
And,
it. I was going off. Like all I know is I don't know what was happening out here because I was freaking locked in.
mm-hmm.
I don't know how other people DJ, but I was DJing like I was freaking at a club, and it was the most popping club ever. And we
Yes, it was.
Man, that was so much fun. I almost lost my whole laptop. Remember my hard drive just disconnected mid song.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was crazy because the street was so bumpy.
Dang.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The music just completely cut off for like, I don't know, 10 seconds. And luckily, like, it came back and I had the next track ready to rock. And it just, like, I don't think many people noticed, but I noticed.
Never.
All that, like, the hard drive flew off.
Wow.
And I was like, where did it go? I couldn't find it.
I didn't notice that. I mean, it was so funny because my boss, I remember there was people in front, you know, our float was like 2 floats connected as one. And then the people in the front were like, damn, that DJ's talking. And they were like, no, they know each other. They're in sync with each other. And I remember my boss was like, where the hell have you guys been hiding? Like, how do you know how to? I was like, this is GT, man. He's like the master of music. Like he's gonna get us through here, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. And oh my god, it was like the best. What we were on that thing seemed like 5 hours.
Yeah,
it really wasn't.
I had no idea. I've never even been to the parade before, so like I had no idea how it worked, how long it was, what to expect. I just got up there and started playing music. Luckily, you grabbed the mic because like I wasn't prepared for I needed my hand on my laptop.
Yeah.
To keep it safe.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, you did your thing. And it was like, here's a mic. I didn't even need to worry about you. Like I set you up, you knocked it down. We were on point for sure.
Yeah,
I was not prepared I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't prepare any music. I was like, we're just gonna go and just enjoy it.
Yeah, everybody was like, how did y'all figure that? And then they were like, they knew each other. They were on the bus, like chit-chatting it up. And I was like, to tell you the truth, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I've been in the parade before on a float, just kind of like that. But I mean, that thing was rocking. And it was so bad because so many people have videos and we're like, you guys were the best float. And then we win. And we're the only float that did not come out on TV. We're the only ones that didn't come out on KSAT. Everybody else came out on KSAT. They showed the back of our float and even said we were the most entertaining, blah, blah, blah. But it was the back of the float because we had that big delay with that fire truck that broke down. So we were in that one spot for a good, 30, 40 minutes. We didn't move. And if you look it up, there's multiple videos of it where we're just like entertaining the hell out of people with the music, and it was so much fun. I remember I was beat tired for like 2 days after, though, to tell you the truth.
I have to go DJ after that.
I mean, damn.
I think I went to the club after that.
Oh yeah, you did. You did. You said you
Yeah,
had
pack it up and
another gig.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
You did
crazy.
say that. It
Yeah,
was entertaining.
that was definitely a yeah. I don't know. I had fun. Like I said, I've never even experienced being downtown like that during the fiesta. So it was like
Uh-huh.
everything was just new, and I just went into it completely not prepared.
Well,
um,
I've already been hinting to that. I know they're in the process or they're trying to get everything worked out already. But they even said, we're gonna try to get the DJ back. And I was like, oh my God, like we have to do this again. It has to be a repeat and we have to win.
and
And
I think I
then
was just filling in for somebody. Like
yeah,
I was
yeah.
just filling. It was just
Because
like very random.
exactly because the day before the guy was like, oh, that was boring. I don't want to do it again. I mean, everybody on the float didn't even really enjoy themselves. So I was like, well, damn. Like, and then they were like, it was completely different, night and day. The float literally was night and day, and it was an amazing time, and I had such a good time, GT, and man, you got us through that. What I think it was like 8 hours. It seemed like we were there
Yeah,
because
it
we had to get
was
there.
definitely a full day of events, and it
Yeah.
was hot.
So
I think it was hot.
yeah, yeah.
I
It
was more
was.
upset that I didn't get to wear my sleeveless hoodie that I made with my logo on it than anything. Cause
Oh, wow.
yeah, remember I had my
Yeah.
name on it. It was in gold. It was.
Dang it.
I was so excited, and then they gave me the T-shirt, and I was like, "Boo!"
Oh, well, we'll see if we can sneak it this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna put y'all's logo on my stuff next.
Ah, now you're talking. Now you're talking.
I mean, you know what I mean. I wasn't like I said, I wasn't prepared. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know who I was gonna run into. I didn't know what was gonna happen, and I ended up having the most fun ever. And everybody's like, "Dude, we saw you on at the parade. We saw you on the float." And I was like, I didn't see nothing, not nobody. All I know is everybody was singing to every song that I played,
Every song.
and it was banger after banger. And I was like, how long is this? Because I don't know how much more music I have.
Mhm.
Not that it mattered, because I could have repeated songs, because everyone that heard it didn't hear what I played before. But
Uh-huh.
I don't personally like repeating songs,
Oh, of course not.
especially because I mean y'all are there. But I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna run out of music, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna play next. And we played. I played everything.
Everything. Everything. My sister was like, I was walking away and I could hear your voice on the mic and I had a dead stop because I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And then I turn around and she's like, and then I see you on the float. And then I see Greg, because she remembers you from when, again, she was a little 8-year-old kid running around at the Silver Stars game. And then she started working with Spurs. And, my middle sister started working with Spurs. We've all been through game ops. We, we've all said we were going to retire through game ops. And we all did. And my youngest sister went back this year, even though she said she was going to retire, but she's back doing game op stuff for the Spurs. So, um, you know, we've had the privilege of being around the NBA so long, whether it be in the G League, the NBA, the WNBA. Um, it's been an honor, and to be able to watch, and do this show with you about one of the things we love best, All Star Weekend, and being part of it. Um, I'm so excited to hear you're going to be at Final Four.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to go check that out. I think that's a great addition, that San Antonio Sports, Jenny Carnes, and them, you know, you know, asked you guys to come out and be part of that. Props to them for doing that, because they are only wanting the best, and I know they're definitely going to get that in you guys, in your show that you guys are going to put on. So, GT, it's been fun. Thank you for coming on the show, and I hope we
thanks
can
for having me. I
definitely do
enjoyed it.
this again.
Yeah, we got a
Definitely.
we got a live broadcast from the float if we do Fiesta.
Haha. Hey, that's a good idea. We might have to look into that. We might just have to look into that. But GT, it's been real. Those of you who tuned in, it's been real. We're gonna post this on YouTube. Every podcast, if you didn't catch it from the beginning, check it out. If not, check it out on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. We will be on there. Make sure you hit that like button on Facebook and that subscribe button. And GT, like I said, peace out, homie. Thank you so much for coming on. You guys who tuned in, keep tuning in. New shows coming up real soon. Take care, everybody.